I'm Danny Byrd, I'm a drum and bass producer and DJ, and you're in my humble studio in Bath City Centre. This studio is where I've done most of my releases for like the last 12 years, so all my albums, Supersize, Rave Digger, Golden Ticket, all come out of here. So it's a room that I know really well, and yeah, it's cosy. My first pair of Genelecs was the 1038s, and they were amazing because they were my first proper kind of mid-price monitor. I had only had cheaper monitors at that stage, and it felt like going up to the real what the big boys were using. It was just kind of around the 2000 time, and all the hip hop and R&B productions that I admired, all the studios that they had will always have 1030s or 1031s, so it was that sound I was looking for, and I was blown away by the detail that they had in the mids and the kind of bass, and it was just like, oh, it was just night and day from what I'd had before. And it's that mid-range detail with the Genelecs that I noticed mainly, you know. So this mix room, I wouldn't call it a mix room actually, I would call it a writing room. It's now become a mix room with the Genelecs, but just a really good writing space. What it lacks acoustically, it makes up for in writing and vibe. So I've tried to control the sound as much as I can, but it's only become a mix room recently. 8351s, I investigated when they first came out. I think I was one of the first people in the UK to have them. So I was investigating a monitor that would be compact enough for this room, but also have the bass, you know, a three-way. I needed a three-way monitor, you need some kind of sub-level. The 8351s seemed like they were good on paper. I read some good reviews of it, and I was also really intrigued by the SAM technology, the built-in DSP. I was kind of skeptical of it because the sort of music technology wisdom over the years has said, you know, you can't replace bad acoustics, you've got to have your treated room, you've got to do that. But I've treated this room as well as I can, I still had bad acoustics, but I did it with an open mind, and I thought, well, I need a new monitor, I need a new three-way monitor if they sound great. If the DSP works, you know, to a certain extent, it'll be a bonus. But I was blown away by how much of an influence it had, and you know, literally I was taking my mixes to other studios in London, because I would always write here, but I would always mix in bigger, proper acoustically treated rooms. And the monitors that I had before, when you would take them to another proper room, it wouldn't translate at all. The bass would be too low, the drums would be always distant as well. And you'd think, oh right, okay. And I just got used to it. I just thought, right, I write the music here, but I mix it elsewhere. And when I got these, I always kept that in mind. I just thought, this room you can't control it. You know, if I gain some benefit, it will be good. But what I was surprised at was I would book top rooms in London, you know, big mix rooms, and I would take the mix down and it'd be like, oh, this sounds the same. This sounds very similar to what it had been at home. And I wasn't really mixing as well at home because I knew, you know, I wasn't really focused on the mix here because I knew I'd have to mix it elsewhere. And so the next few mixes I did, I thought, well, let me see if I can get it as good as I can here and see how it translates. And sure enough, I think I did about 6 trips to London, because it takes a while to gain, you know, to really make sure you've got the confidence. And after about the 6th time over the space of a year, I thought, I'm not going back, these are the real deal. And you play the tracks out in the club and they perfectly translate. Every minute detail that is wrong with the mix, it's like putting a microscope over the problems in your track when you play it out in a club. So any slight issues, you will notice it. So to take something that's been mixed here and play it out is quite a big step, you know, and so a new thing for me. I was looking to build a proper studio room and acoustically treat it, but now, since having these, I'm just skeptical. You know, I could build a big room and I could acoustically treat it and I could get an acoustician in. I don't know if I need it now, you know. Much to my girlfriend's delight, because she gets an extra bedroom, so you know.